So as I've been building my website and kind of developing this offering that I'm bringing to the world, it's really making me look at why. Why am I doing this? Why is this what I think is important to bring? Why am I choosing, or why is my soul choosing? Why is my being choosing to bring this? And so I want to share a bit about my story and how I got to this. I've always been a very deep thinker, and I've also always been kind of deeply unsatisfied with life. And at the age of 21, was diagnosed with depression, was on antidepressants for 12 years. And through that time, studied psychology, and that was really the mainstream solution for dissatisfaction or disease, and it never really landed for me. After I finished my studies and I was a qualified counsellor, I was like, how would I actually work in this? This doesn't seem enough. This is just the tip of the iceberg. And for many years, I left that world and worked with children where I was really practicing that world. It was, practicing the space of holding space for human beings and learning from them and exploring what it actually means to be a human being. And that is really my exploration of life. What are all these constructs that we've formed? And what if we just did things a bit differently? And what are we actually needing and wanting in this world? But really, it was about meeting these human beings as they really are in all of their bodies. I just didn't understand that fully yet. And when I went back into the healing exploration, what I was drawn to was the energetic world, the world of the energetic body, energy healing, and what we can actually explore with the expansiveness of our minds, rather than using our minds to understand what's happening inside of us, to see what can I create with my mind. And I didn't really understand that yet either at the time, but that worked for me, and that was what drew me. And I went on to study Reiki and the chakras, and through yoga also. But all of this really was about also landing in the body. So that was the piece that also, when it came to healing, that was the part that landed for me, that like really that's what we're needing: the touch, the connection, the softness. That brings so much. So then I studied bits of shiatsu and Ayurvedic massage, and bringing that piece in, and also through yoga and movement and dance, which were all big openers for me personally in my journey. But still, the piece for the emotions was missing. And when I came off antidepressants, that was, the emotional world has always been my gateway to growth, and the part that I feel the strongest. But I didn't have a language that ever accepted it fully. It always felt to me like even places that talked about emotions as like bring your emotions, there still felt like a layer of shame around them, that there's something wrong with them. And to me, that never felt right. I mean, from a very young age, I was like, I need to be able to express my emotions. There's nothing wrong with this. But the reflections that I got from the outside was, yes, there is something very wrong with it. And so as I entered the spiritual world, I also felt that there was some avoidance, or there was something not quite right with how we were dealing with emotions, until I met possibility management. And this was really a big breakthrough for me, because it gave a language that landed so deeply for me, that resonated in my whole being of, yes, this is what I know. This is what I've been looking for. A language that really expresses that and meets it in the right places. And this is where the idea of 5 bodies comes from. from possibility management, which is all based on experimentation and lived experience, human labs. And it just has resonated so deeply for me. And so that is, and that actually has given me, in my experience, a deeper sense of peace and of joy and of living my purpose than anything else. Now, in a lot of spiritual healing modalities, they talk about 4 bodies, and this had made sense to me until then. The 4 bodies being the physical, mental, emotional, and energetic or spiritual. They're called different things. But possibility management brings the 5th, which is the archetypal body. And this gives the next layer, the next level, which for me is the whole point of it all. So when we're talking about healing, it's like, yeah, we need to heal each of the bodies because there is so much wounding in each of them. But to me, there was always like, and then what? Like, what are we doing here? And this is where the archetypal body comes in, because when our other 4 bodies are in balance and are the healing is an ongoing journey, so we can't say and they're healed, but we're in process of healing with them. We're giving them space, we're giving them attention, we're acknowledging them. Then the archetypal body can come into the body, and this is the body. This is the archetypal body is the body that lives our purpose, that brings in our higher purpose, and our higher purpose being why we are here at this time in the world, because it's not just a personal process that we're in a collective process. And right now in the collective, we're in a paradigm shift. We're moving from modern culture, where we have been for a few thousand years already, and we're moving into next culture, which some spiritual traditions call the Messianic era, some call the Golden Era, some call the New Earth. In possibility management, they call it next culture, archiarchy. I don't really care what it's called. What I care about is that we're moving into it, and that to move into it, we all are players in this. We all create it. And we're all here with this purpose, and whether we're aware of it or not, but most of the fact that there's such a high amount of emotional disease, mental disease, all of the suffering that's happening right now is because we are not living our full purpose. And when we do, and I've experienced this for myself, that when we do, when our archetypal body has the space to land in, then there's an overriding joy of being here. And we can go through the waves of all of the other feelings, and we can be experiencing the fullness of everything that's happening in us. And still there's this deeper fulfillment that we know why we're here. And that's what the archetypal body brings. So for me, this offering that I'm bringing is to support us all in that movement. And as I said, it's ongoing, because balance isn't something that you find and then you stay there. We're moving all the time. And so I've been collecting the tools for all of these bodies, because for me, it's never been enough to just work with one of the bodies or 2 of the bodies. For me personally, that has not been enough. That hasn't met me in my whole being. And so through my own journey of exploring what works for me, I've been collecting and gathering the tools that meet me in all of my bodies, and then that I can offer to others to meet them in theirs. And so, yeah, that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm bringing. The more that I explore this offering, the more joy I also feel, because it is my archetypal body expressing itself into being, and to support this move, this creation that we are all bringing to the world right now.